Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we're gonna do this stitch. It's a very easy stitch, 2 rows repeat, it's reversible. I think this stitch will work nice if you use a little bit like this one. I think it's acrylic, not cotton, but it's kind of hard. If you want to do a coat, a cardigan, I think this one it's nice, this stitch. Okay, this stitch works with any numbers of chain. So we're gonna, I chain here, well, I don't know, 14 I think. You can chain any number you want, odd, even, it doesn't matter, you know. But I will suggest, for now, I'm chaining with 6.0 millimeter crochet hook. So I don't know, you can try and see, but I think when you chain, you cast the chains, you should chain with a bigger crochet hook. And then I'm gonna change to the 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. Yeah. So okay, you can chain any numbers you like, and then we're gonna skip the first 2 chains, first and second, and in the third one, yarn over the hook, we're gonna do a half double crochet. So in each chain across the row until we finish, we're gonna do half double crochet. So yarn over the hook, move to the next chain and do half double crochet, and the next chain, half double crochet, and so on until you finish all the chains until the end. Yeah, but I think with this stitch you gonna need to work with, let's say the yarn recommends 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. Either you work the whole work with 5.5 or 6 millimeter crochet hook. That would be great, because this one will have a tendency to be a little bit stiff and rigid. Now depends the yarn that you use. I think this stitch will work nicer if it's a little bit hard, the yarn. Now depends, you can do it with soft if you like, depends what you're gonna do with this stitch. But it's gonna eat a lot of yarn, this one, so be ready with a lot of yarn. So now we're gonna chain 1, sorry. So you return your work, and now in the first stitch here, we're gonna go in there, we're gonna pick up a loop, yarn over and pull the yarn to the first loop. You have 2 loops, go back again into the same stitch, pull up a loop, you have 3 loops, yarn over and pull the yarn through all these 3 loops. And now you move to the next stitch and you're gonna do the same. Go in there, pull up a loop, pull the yarn to the first loop, go again into the same stitch, pull up a loop, you have 3 loops, pull the yarn through all 3 loops. And we're gonna do like this in each stitch. You go back again, have 3 loops, pull the yarn through all 3 loops. And we're gonna do like this. You go back again, you have 3 loops, pull the yarn through all 3 loops. Yeah, I think for a baby blanket, I think it's nice to do this, but I think it looks nicer if you do some, you know, like a overcoat, or you know, even a blouse if you want to do, but you're gonna have to make sure that it doesn't stay too stiff on you, so use soft yarn. You go back again, 3 loops, pull the yarn through all 3 loops. Okay, and I'm gonna change the crochet hook with a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook after I finish this row. You can work with the same. So the last stitch is here. I'm gonna go in there and we're gonna pull up a loop, pull the yarn to the first loop, go back again and pull up a loop. You have 3 loops, pull the yarn through all 3 loops. And now I'm going to change the crochet hook from 6.0 millimeter crochet hook to 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. And I'm going to chain 2, turn your work, and now, well, I don't know how to explain this to make sense to you. You see, we have, you know, the half double crochet, and we have some holes in between the rows, you know. So we're gonna go into these holes. So yarn over the hook, and we're gonna go into this hole here underneath that, you know, this row. Pull up a loop and pull this loop high enough, and then do a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, move to the next stitch, which is this one, but underneath you see the holes, they're formed. So these are the holes. So you're gonna go underneath that hole, pull up a loop, and do a double crochet. Move to the next stitch, which is here. You go underneath there, pull up a loop. Yeah, you're gonna have to make sure that you pull that loop, you know, high enough, otherwise the work is gonna be like this. So you move to the next stitch underneath there, pull up a loop, and do a double crochet, and so on in each. Move to the next, and you're gonna do the same. You move to the next, this one here, and you're gonna pull up a loop and then do a double crochet. So you move to the next hole here. You can see them, they're easy to see them. So pull up a loop and do a double crochet. And these are the, well, these are the 2 rows that we're gonna keep repeating. Move to the next. And you move to the next stitch, the hole underneath there. Do a double crochet. And now you reach the end, and you have the last stitch here, and you go underneath right here, right there. Pull up a loop and do a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, and you have this chain 2 here. So we're gonna go into this chain here, and we're gonna do a double crochet, chain 1, and now you're gonna repeat the row. So you're gonna skip this one, and in the next you're gonna go in there, pull up a loop, pull the yarn to first loop, go in there again, pull up a loop, 3 loops, pull the yarn through all 3 loops, and you go to the next stitch, and you're gonna do the same. Go back again into the same stitch, and this is the 2 rows that you're gonna repeat. So you're gonna do like this, on and on. I noticed if I don't chain in the beginning, when I cast the chain, if I don't use a bigger crochet hook, it shrinks. The bottom it's a little bit, you know, kind of narrow than the rest of the work. And move to the next stitch. And you keep doing like this. And the last stitch is here. We're gonna go in there and we're gonna do the same. Pull up a loop, pull the yarn to the first loop, go back again, pull up a loop, and then like this. And then we're gonna chain 2, turn your work, and then we're gonna do the same. We have the first here, the hole right here, this one. So yarn over the hook, go underneath into this space there, pull up a loop, and do a double crochet. and you move to the next. You see, they're very, it's like you putting your crochet, you insert your crochet hook between this line and the row here. So you go right there, pull up a loop, and you move to the next right here in between this line and the stitch. And that's about it. You can make it with, you know, thinner yarn, but this is kind of chunky, bulky. This is cotton, the yarn that I use now, and it's kind of bulky. Yeah, but you're gonna have to be with this loop high enough that will not strangle the stitch. This one is gonna be really like a accordion, like this. So the last hole is here, this one right there. So you go in there and you do a double crochet, yarn over the hook, and you have the chain 2 here, right here. So we're gonna go on top of the second chain right there inside the chain, pull up a loop and do a double crochet, chain 1, and now we're gonna repeat the row with the, it looks like this. You skip this one, and in the next you're gonna do the row with the, well, where you pick up a lot of loops. Okay, I'm gonna do this row, then I'm gonna stop. So you move to the next stitch and you do the same. Well, it's a very easy stitch to do when you're bored of, well, let's say complicated stitches, or the ones that you have to pay attention to the counting or whatever is the design. This one is really easy. Yeah, but I think this one is really nice for a tunic, if you want the open tunic, or, you know, or coat. So the last stitch is here. We're gonna go in there and gonna do the same. This is the chain 2, that next row you're gonna poke into this. Yeah. You chain 2 and you start with the, you know, the first hole is here, yarn over the hook, go into that hole, pull up a loop, do a double crochet, and so on. It's really easy, this one, but it's gonna eat a lot of yarn. So, you know, even for a blanket, I think it looks nice, the stitch for a blanket, but boy, it's gonna eat a lot. So like I said many times, if you have a big stash of yarn and you want to get rid of that yarn, you can use this one. And you can make a spring blanket, like a baby blanket, because it has some you know, some holes that will, you know, breathe, so the air will go through with no problem. It's not gonna overheat the baby. So you do the last hole there, yarn over the hook, and you have the chain 2 here. So you're gonna go on top of the chain 2 right there, and you're gonna do a double crochet. You're gonna chain 1 and you start the other row. So it looks like this. Well, this is kind of bulky, the yarn, and I don't like, because it's, you know, it makes like this, catches these things. So, well, if you want to try this this stitch, you can give it a try. It's really easy and goes really fast. I don't know if you can see the work in here. It's a little bit wider, but the bottom it's kind of tighter, and that's why I said, you know, if you look at this one, you know, they're kind of equal, you know, but try to either you cast the chains loose and you work loose the first row and the second, or you're gonna have to put a bigger crochet hook when you chain. Yeah. So this is the stitch. You see, it curls up because it's really stiff. It's tight. This stitch. So well, give it a try. You might like this stitch. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.